Last time on Vi Plays Create, our episode got off to an explosive start. We then mourned for the appropriate amount of time. He will be missed. Anyway, we then crafted up our brand new Vi plane and flew it 8,000 blocks to find this. Oh my god, a woodland mansion. I found a woodland mansion before I found a payload forest. I briefly stopped for a few totems. Everybody chill. And then after using the built-in nature's compass, we found the payload forest and collected all of its goodies. It took a mild amount of brute force to find the creaking heart, but eventually it was located. There it is. And if the episode started with an explosion, you know it also ended with one. It doesn't work like a shulker box, it only works for the upgrades. Oh no. No. And I still cannot believe, at the very end of my episode, you showed up and you got me the thing that I spent hours trying to get. And he just walks away. He just walks away. The disrespect. The disrespect. I flew 8,000 blocks that way, and then like another 4,000 blocks this way, and then another 500-ish blocks this way, and then I traveled through the nether to get to here. And you just sell me the tree type. Oh yeah, just sell me the tree type. It's fine. I wouldn't have had the moss or the hanging moss or all the other flowers and whatnot. And then I also wouldn't know what the biome is, so I can't make the little flowers renewable. And but hey y'all, welcome back to Vi Plays Create. I am Vi, and we're playing some Create. Plane crash? Anomaly? Portals? What are you talking about? None of that's happened. Yet. And today I've got big plans. In part because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of looking at this disgusting little box. These ugly leaves, ugly cobblestone, and this... I actually really like the texture of the industrial iron, so I can't really call those ugly. But the box is ugly nonetheless. And you know what? I'll be the first to say it. The housing conditions in here, well, they might be slightly unethical. So I think it's time we built these guys some proper housing. And no, I don't mean like some rinky-dink little housing block in the middle of an otherwise pretty much industrialist area. No, when I build these guys housing, it's gonna be big. And I'm not going to pretend that you guys didn't see the thumbnail, so you probably know what I'm about to do. But I think it's time we build these guys a university. Well, in part because so many of them are book trades. And they need libraries, and they need to educate the masses. And so I think a university is an excellent solution for many of these guys. Plus, we could also set up another villager breeder and populate the university with students. They're going to be born and sent immediately to university. But to build this university... I'm gonna need a lot of blocks. And in the last episode, we gathered up all of that pale oak because it was the final missing piece for what I needed to get started. It's a bit of a crowning jewel, if you will. So I think it's time we take a look at the materials list. Let me grab my schematic. And no, don't worry. I'm not going to be building this with the schematic cannon. Anytime I do a mega build, even if it's in one of my Create mod series, I tend to just build them by hand. I don't know if it's like a pride thing or if I think it means more because it's built by hand, but I don't know. I just think it's like better. But I do want to be upfront about the fact that I definitely built this and designed it in creative, and I'll be using the Lightmatica mod to assist in the building. I'm not trying to get carpal tunnel at 29. So let's look at a materials list, shall we? And I suppose before I take a look at the materials list, I should probably talk about the location of where we're going to put this. Initially, I was going to try and put it right here. And that didn't really work out because it wasn't quite big enough. And then I was going to try and put it right here. And that didn't really work out because that wasn't quite big enough. So I've decided I'm going to put it up here because, well, the size requirement is... It's a bit much. But now that I've actually put a placement down in the world, we can take a quick look at the materials list. And it's not small. The total amount of items is 96,000. Or 97, actually. I'm like 100 shy of 97,000. Which is, again, not small. We're going to need 15,000 andesite, 10,000 grass blocks, tons of industrial iron, limestone, granite, and there's a lot of variations of granite. That's 5, 6, 7, 11, like 11,000 granite of different variations. The limestone I'm obviously not worried about because I have a farm for that, but a lot of these things are things that I just do not have farms for. And while we do have a backstock of a lot of different copper blocks, I don't have a good way to process these down into these create variations of these blocks. So before I even get started on all of this, yeah, that's right, we're gonna have to do a whole lot of preparation to get started on all of that. It's a little bit scary, actually. But this is what I get for building in a super flat world instead of building in a creative copy. My scale is always a little bit out of whack. It's funny. It's actually player scale, technically. All of it's meant to be used and seen and interacted with at player scale. But they always still end up being absolutely massive. And now, historically, this is where I would start a material gathering montage to get started on all of this crap that I've got to get together. But the crap that I've got to get together, I think I'm gonna have to farm it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to just gather it. I think I'm gonna actually have to farm it because 15,000 andesite. 15,000 andesite. 15,000 andesite. That ain't happening. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on a diorite, cobblestone, andesite, granite generator. I think. I do have 5,000 granite. That covers the cut granite. It does not cover everything else, though. Unless... 436. Realistically, how long do you think it would take to just mine it? Do you think I could just mine it? I'll tell you what. I'll do a test. I'm going to go down into the mines for an hour. I'm going to run the tunnel bore as long as possible, clearing as much space as I can. And if I get a decent amount from that, I'll stick to the mining. But if not, I'm probably going to have to make a farm. And you know what I just realized? I need so much zinc for this project, and I do not have that much. In fact, I'm pretty sure... Oh, God. And there's not a way for me to automate zinc. I guess we're going mining anyway. Oh, wait, I have a bunch more zinc in here I didn't know about. Oh, I thought I compacted it all into blocks. Yo, that is huge. And I think it's about that time. Let's add a few drills to the tunnel bore, shall we? Almost 2 stacks of drills. Drill expansion time. Ah, I'm 3 shy. I hate it when this happens. The tunnel bore has expanded. And while I'm here, I might as well add another vault to this thing. Off to the caves! That's a god apple. Yeah, I'll take a god apple. Okay, so that was like more like an hour and 20 minutes, but I'm willing to bet that we got a really good amount of stuff. Partially because I kind of stopped in the middle of the mining montage to burn some cobblestone. I may have seen what was on the inside. And as it offloads all this stuff, we're going to get a good idea of how much we got out of it. And you can see the andesite already going up. The 30,000 deep slate might be limiting us on how much space we have left in this offload vault thing. Oh my god, wait, is that all of it? Oh no, we're just in max capacity. Haha, I heard it stop and I was like, wait a minute. One thing I am certainly not short on is deep slate. Are we already at max capacity again? How's that even possible? I pulled out 10,000 items. Oh, well, I can't increase the size of the vault, so we're gonna have to make another offload station. No. Oh, it's so many blocks. Oh, thank God, though. I think I'm about to hit 15k on the andesite, and that's all I really need. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Mining is certainly the strategy. I got so many blocks so fast. And it looks like there's still 3,000 andesite in there, so I actually might already have enough, which is crazy. Little tidbit for you here. In order to turn a corner like this without rotation force of any kind, I usually add a depot right below whatever I'm trying to output, and then right next to that is where you can put your item drains. Then you can have this one facing out and it'll pull the full stacks, and then an andesite funnel facing in. Now I just gotta grab a filter for this guy. We should be good to go. Actually, what am I saying? This is locked up. I can just steal this filter. Less effort. And then we can offload everything. I just got to add some of this. If I go ahead and link that to this system right here, and grab my packager right there, throw in a little temporary block, do my depot right there, and then I can have the packager output onto that depot. This stock link is already linked to our system, so I just got to throw it on top of there, and now I have access to that vault. Oh wait, you can crush full blocks, can't you? Oh my gosh. Oh, and if it's in full block form, you get experience out of it. I kind of forgot. And I have got everything processing down into its crushed counterparts, and I've already offloaded a bunch of the experience into these packages here. I've got a lot of nuggets of XP. I don't think I'm ever really gonna have to use the spawner farm to mend up my tools ever again. But yeah, we're getting in materials faster than I can actually do anything with them, so a little concerned about that. Compacting those ores down into blocks is the move, but I'm getting distracted. Back to the task at hand. I cannot believe that it has taken me this long to install a post box. Maybe if I like right there, do you think that works? I feel like that might work. I love the model of these things. And granted, there's not really going to be anything delivered to this mailbox anytime soon, but I feel like it kind of fits on the front side of the workshop here. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Do we have enough andesite and granite and all that stuff? Oh my gosh, I think we might. This is a beautiful day. Today is a beautiful day. Also, are we offloaded completely? Yes, we are. Now it's time to process all of this down into the stuff that we need. Actually, let me do a quick check. I want to make sure that we've got everything we need. Andesite, 15k, and then the rest of these are less than 1,000. So I think as long as we have 16k, we should be fine. Yeah, we have 20k. So like 13,000 granite, and I've got 16. So we got more than enough of that. Now, the other thing that I'm kind of scared about is like bricks. I don't have a lot of bricks on hand. I do have a lot of clay from processing down all of that copper at various stages. But problem, I've compacted most of it into blocks. I actually did that kind of today because I wasn't thinking. Looks like it's time to break out the old fortune shovel and break down all this nonsense. Okay, I don't even have enough clay for this, do I? You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna process them down with this. A 1,000, almost. $1.5k out of 2,300. Not quite there, am I? Dang. All right, what else might I need? Do I need to go back into the world to get anything? Ooh, I forgot about dripstone. That's not enough. Yeah, like 2,500 dripstone? Well, time to go back into the mines. Now we are looking for Dripstone, mainly. Ooh, moss. I'm gonna need quite a bit of moss, and I'd rather not have to farm that. And then clay. I need a lot of clay. Okay, we processed down some goods, and now we have quite a bit of bricks, but we're still waiting on a lot of stuff to cook down. I'm gonna go ahead and let the brass funnel into here while we're off doing what we're about to do, which is just mine. We're going back. We're gonna mine even more. I'm just gonna grab up a few of these guys, maybe a few extra torches, and we go back to the caves. Aha! Diamonds! Stone diamonds! Amazing! Successful trip to the mines. I think I've got everything I need. Let's do a quick little offload situation here, and I'm really hoping that I don't have to add another vault to the outside of this. Oh, guys, I'm like 6 hours of work into this episode, and I haven't even flattened the area to build the mega build. I haven't placed a single block. 6 hours of work. Please like and subscribe. I'm making these videos like it's my job. You know what would probably be faster? Uh-oh. We've maxed out both vaults. No. Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say, you know what's probably faster? Oh, I thought I was being clever. Can't interface with it directly. Dang. That kind of ruins all my plans. Okay. Maybe it's time to give this a little bit more of a permanent solution, because I can't keep doing this. I'm wasting so much time right now. I could be doing this so much more efficiently. Yeah, let's find a better solution. Yo, it's working. Okay, so I've done a lot. I'm not entirely done, but I wanted to take a little bit of an opportunity here to check in. The name of the game at this point is going to be bulk processing, being able to process all of this stuff easily and automatically, because I'm not trying to stand in front of a stone cutter and cut layered andesite a stack at a time until I get to 1,500. No, that's insane. I'm not doing that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it over to my bulk saw processing over here, which is then going to be stored in this massive vault right here. I'll get that linked up to a packager later on, or maybe I'll probably just end up picking it up and using it near the build. That would kind of make sense. Now, I do want to get sand processing, I think, in here as well. I'm just gonna have to link up our cobblestone generator to something, and I think I'm gonna probably end up having to dig that way a bit with the tunnel board. But you know what? I had a thought. I had a question that I didn't really know the answer to, and I wanted to... Can I send myself... Let's just send myself some of this. No. No, 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 no. Oh, I just broke those. Oh, they're gone. They're gone, they're gone, they're gone. Oh, it's painful. I just burned a stack of... Okay. Okay, I was supposed to send this to myself, which will be... Call this main pickup. Okay. And I got this guy. I wanted to see, can I send this through the wall? Okay, I can send these through the wall. Okay, well actually, you know what? I can just stick a packager on my cobblestone generator over there and have it send stacks at a time over to where I'm going to do some crushing wheels over here. This is all a bit messy. Look, it's a bit messy. It's a bit messy. It's fine. I'll clean it up later. But for now, what I think I want to do is I want to have a place to send to double crush the cobblestone. So I'm going to need 4 more crushing wheels. And to be honest, like what's wrong with just doing it against this wall? But this is the methodology I'm using for pretty much all of these stations, is that I want to have on top, I want to have some sort of vault that the packagers can eject the items into, and then I want to have the frog interfacing with the packager. Then I can name the frog, and then whenever I want to bulk crush like 1,500 cobblestone into sand, I can just click a bunch of buttons instead of having to walk over, pick it all up, walk back, crush it all. Yeah, it's going to be so much more automatic. Now, my next question is, can I poke my head through the wall here? Oh, man. Yes, I can. Packager and a frog port. Grab that from there. Cannot connect downward. Really? Okay. You know what? I'm going to make my life a little easier here. Honestly, right here. Throw a vertical gearbox in here, though, and then a shaft right below my feet, and then that sends it back through. Okay. Now, I just need some crushing wheels on this thing. Crushing wheels. Packager. Frog port. And we're going to name it sand processing. That. Is it going the correct direction? We may never know. It is all going the correct direction. That's amazing. First try. Okay, so now what I can do is I can send cobblestone to this with a factory gauge. Once I dip below a certain amount of sand. There's no way that frog could reach from here, right? Too far away. Oh, look, I can connect now. I wonder how that works. All right, and if I go ahead and call that cobble main, I can grab... Oh, I always forget how this works. Now, if I go ahead and set this to 9 stacks... Oh, right, I need to set the address. Okay, we should see a package in here now. Hopefully. Maybe. Oh, there it is. It's coming around. Okay. We are making sand. Awesome. Oh, and it's going to send a lot of cobblestone. Ooh. I wish I could read a different inventory. Like all of those for sand. Ooh, it's sending a lot of cobblestone. Now, is there a way for me to hold? Can we like toggle this off? Actually, I wonder, can I just give it a redstone signal? I mean, I guess I can give that a redstone signal and then it'll stop. Okay, well, needless to say, I can now make sand whenever I want. I just have to turn that lever off. And I do need a lot of sand up here, so... Oh my god, I'm already up to 1.5k. This place is incredible. I love this. Is that exactly how I pictured this to work? No, but it's working. And what I can do now is, if I want, I can send all this sand to be smelted, which I do want. Actually, before I do that, let me go ahead and grab this. We want to emit glass, but not sand. And so now, if I take all that sand that we just made, I can take it and I can send it on over to Blast. And now it's going to package it all and send it on over to this guy, where it's going to go down into here, and it's going to start getting blasted. Dang, that's cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. And just like that, I think I have 1,500 sand, or 1,500 glass. It's gonna take like a few seconds for this stuff to smelt, but if I go back over to here, I already have 1,200 glass in there. What the frick is happening? This is amazing. Bro, how could I have not done this sooner? Okay, anyway, so now what I want to do is I want to make sure this guy has a name, and he does. And what I think I want to do is for the different types of items, I want to have a list filter, right? Because I want to be able to do layered andesite, which is what I'm going to be making a ton of, but layered andesite, I want to be able to do glass, or rather framed glass, cut granite, maybe to start, and layered limestone. And so is this going to consume the filter? Oh, it totally is. Dang, how do I copy this? Do that? I can. Okay, cool. Okay, now I have all of these filters. And now what I can do is I can send all of that glass over to this guy. and it's going to package it. It's going to send it over to our saw array, and all this is going to get cut down into framed glass. This is actually amazing. Wait. Oh, crap. I've done a goof. These should only be coming out one at a time. Because I set this to 8. Oh, I set this to 16. Ah, that might be part of it. It's restacking them. Oh, this should be force split. Okay. So now it should work a little bit better. But if I look over here and my Jade is going to calculate it, 806 framed glass. It should be splitting these evenly, but it's not, and I don't know why. I wonder if I should have like come in straight from that side over there. Okay, now I think what I can do is I think I can crank this up. That is working so much better. Okay, so apparently you can't run the tunnels into the sides like that. It's going to prioritize the first one that it's heading into for some reason. You'd think that it would be consistent across different belt directions, but I guess not. It's cool. And wow, this is amazing. I love everything about this. I do need a bunch more sand, so I'm going to go ahead and let this thing request more cobblestone. And yeah, I'm going to get back to it. And from there, we went ahead and swapped the vault to the other side of this array. I switched the belt direction so that it would be going that direction. And then I added some grass production over on this side. Essentially, all you have to do to make grass is spout water on top of dirt. And splitting that into 4 different lanes means that I can make 4 pieces of grass at a time. I need over 10,000 for this project, so getting that up and running early on was pretty important. Then I would send bulk items to the saw array, processing them down into whatever I needed them to be. I was a little bit shy on moss for this project, even after going out to the lush cave and getting all the moss from the tunnel bore. But I did find that I actually live kind of like right next to a lush cave and never noticed. So I dug this hallway over to where we're close to the lush cave and then just decided to dig down to it. From here, I grabbed a ton of moss. It wasn't very important, wasn't very special. I just fought some mobs, dug some moss, and got out of there. I don't know if that's the 2,000 I need. I feel like it's definitely not, or however much I need. But you know what? Ugh, of course. Okay, so hopefully now I have enough moss. We will see. I want to see 15k whenever I dump all this stuff into there. And all the while, this has been churning down all that grass. All right, let's go look at the magic number. Let's see. 2.5k. Wait, that's way more. Oh, I went way overboard. Whoops. Okay, I probably spent too much time on that then. My bad. Okay, so I think we got to start converting some of this stuff into materials. We definitely have to smelt a bunch of deep slate. Let's maybe do that first. 6.5. Let's take 6,500 deep slate. 6.5k, and we're going to send this over to our blaster, which is going to blast them. Oh, you know what I just realized? I need to take that, and then I need to add deep slate. Ooh, that was quick. Once we do have that finished, I can go ahead and start with the stairs. I think that's going to be the thing we have the most of. So cut deep slate brick stairs, and I can go ahead and swap to the next. Cut granite bricks. I need 2.6k. Okay, so let's definitely send over the layered andesite, or layered limestone, I mean, and the limestone pillar. So I'm going to need 8k. I don't think I can request that. Currently, the limestone is connected to no one. And actually, you know what? I think we can attach it to that system that we have over there. If I go ahead and grab this and this, I can go ahead and stick my packager right here. I can stick my stock link, or rather I can rebind my stock link to this other network. I can stick that right here. And then if I grab another frog, I can attach it to right there, stick it right here, and this is going to be my limestone. And I want this to only send. So now I can request about, I think the first round of limestone was like 14,000 or something like that. Okay, we need 5,700, so 5,800 in total, 64,000 limestone. Beautiful. Now I can take, like I said, 5,800 of this, and I can send this to my saw array. And that's going to send all the limestone over to there, or it's going to get processed. Ooh, did I overstress? Oh. Okay. One complete overhaul of the steam engine room later. Okay. Now we got to reconnect to this guy. Okay, so now that guy has power. All right, so what are we looking at here? It looks like I don't get enough water, which is an easy fix. Or actually, I think I can just... Yeah. Oh, wait. Is this in the way now? No, it should be fine. Okay, let me get this guy swapped out. Pump. We're getting plenty of water, plenty of heat, and we've got a decent size. I can actually expand the size. Wait. Oh, wait, but the heat's going to limit us because I can't get any better than that. So I now have 147,000. So this is, I mean, I think it's almost double the amount of stress we have. Just transferring it all down into one steam engine, which is good. I think we're good. And it's all moving in the right direction still. Pretty much anytime I transfer power anywhere, I'm going to, like, whenever I get to where it wants to be, I connect it to a speed controller. So that should save us this sort of headache in the long run. Whew. Okay, that was a weird, stupid side tangent thing. We should now be processing all that limestone, which we are. The granite is what we need to send next. And you will never guess what I did for the next 4 hours. No, I'm not kidding. This time lapse is literally 4 hours of footage compressed down. I ran through some of the materials so fast, they don't even show up in this time lapse. I'm telling you, this session took 9 full hours. And while I didn't include all of the footage for the next 5, 6, 7, who even knows how many hours of work that I did over here, I do have all the footage. It's just not worth putting in the video because it's literally me doing the same thing over and over again. I would go over here, I would request a ton of items be sent over to the saw array or whatever. I did end up adding a couple crafters here. This is how I crafted all of the glass for the project. This is all the industrial iron windows. I just had the logistics network send the materials over to this guy, and then they would get sent out through this because I have some filters, and then auto-crafted, and then sent right back over to our materials vault over here. I did go ahead and set up this guy as well. Essentially, this is just so I could get a bunch of mangrove propagules. And last but not least, I did set up this bulk haunting setup so that I could create blackstone. Really nothing too special about that either. It's all just me doing the same thing over and 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 over again. Now, there was quite a bit of footage of me just crafting all of the stuff that wasn't worth sending to the automatic stuff because it was like 200 items. It literally would take me like 3 seconds to craft it myself. But again, it's literally just me crafting stuff. Like, it's so boring, guys. Like, and there's like hours of it. There's hours of the footage. It's not worth putting in the video. But yeah, I didn't finish the entirety of the materials list. If I pop this back open, I got pretty much everything done except for all of these copper variations. Something that we found out along the way is that those cannot be crafted from the full oxidized vanilla copper blocks. I don't know why, but they can't. You have to craft them from copper ingots, like so. And then you have to cut them and place them in the world vanilla style to age them. So I said, frick that, I'm not doing that. And then I added a mod. We've got create oxidized now, so that'll help us do this process a little bit easier. So that's probably what I need to set up next. I'm just going to set up a little process probably out here because this room has become so incredibly compact. Or I'm going to have to remove some stuff, which honestly isn't really that difficult. In fact, I'm wondering, wait a minute, the recipes, isn't it just spouting water? Wait a minute. I can literally use the dirt setup. I already have it. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay. So that's like 1,000 right there for those two. And that's like 2,000, 2,500. Yeah, let's just do like 2,500 copper and we'll send that over to the saw array and I'll add that to the filters, which this is the process. Every time I wanted to create a new item that I had to send through the saw array, I would just grab the filters, open it up, and then I would just put that item in the filter. So then I just need tons of these. And now I can send, what, 2,500 copper over there? This is amazing. I didn't even think about this. And 2,600 is fine. And I'm going to send that right over to saw array. Ooh. It's going to do it. It's going to do it. Please work. Oh. Also, I upgraded this with a fan because the belt just was not moving fast enough. And this auto compacts the items and sends them through. There's no cooldown, I don't think, on the funnels, and that can just accept stacks at a time, so it doesn't really matter. But now what I can do is I can go ahead and request all of this, which that actually didn't hit the full 2,500. I don't know if that's a problem or not. I can request all of this be sent over to our dirt production. Guys, this was completely unintentional. Can we talk about that? Like, I had no idea that I could use this automatically just by adding that one mod that adds these recipes. Like, this is amazing. I love not having to do more work. This is awesome. Now that's going to be churning for a while, so I'm going to let that do its thing. And as you may have noticed with all these mangrove propagules, I need 1,700 strict mangrove logs. Go ahead, ask me. Ask me how many mangrove logs I have. Ask me. The answer is like practically none. I think I have like 100. Nope, I literally have none in there. I think they're all in my other storage room, but I digress. It's not important. I don't have any. So we're gonna kill two birds with one stone here. First and foremost, we need to flatten the island, or the archipelago, or I don't even know what to call it. The bit between the two rivers, so that we could build the mega build. And also I want to farm up a bunch of mangrove, and that would probably be the ideal place to do it. I can just plant a bunch in a row and chop them all down with my fancy saw. And I could also, wait, technically, if I go like this, and then I do a filter to output from here. If I just grab one of these, go back over here, and then I take all of these and I send them out, I can just automatically turn them right back into the exposed, or the oxidized, or whatever the heck it's called. Yeah, weathered, that's the one. So that'll make sure they're all at least the weathered variety. Yeah, I don't think I have anything less than the weathered, so they all have to be at least that level, and then I can come back and update that to be oxidized once we get to the point where they're all done. Now I'm gonna hop into a bit of a time lapse where I go ahead and clear that island, flatten it, and then I'm probably just gonna go straight into sawing down tons and tons of mangrove trees. So let's do that. Woo! I don't know. This video is so long. Oh my god, I think this is the last of it. I'm like 85% sure that this is everything on our list. That's it. We've got everything we need. Do you know what it's time for? Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea what it's time for? Oh my god. Oh, this thing is gonna be massive. Oh, this is gonna be cool. Let's do this. Who needs a social life? Who needs a social life when you can build this in Minecraft? You know what I mean? To say that I'm ecstatic with this build would be the understatement of the century. And like, you can see the build, obviously, in the time lapse, but like, you don't really experience it until you're standing next to it. And I think that's probably one of my favorite parts about it, is like just the sheer size. And obviously, there's a bit of work to do still. Obviously, this is not done. And this is not the entire university. I'm not putting an entire university in one building, but guys, this took like 9 hours. This took like 9 more hours. And I have to upload sometime this year. So I've already got all the materials for all the rest of the build, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and stop here. While I still have some sanity. Yeah, we'll finish the university at another point. Probably like immediately after this. I'm just going to do all the rest of it in one episode because, you know, I don't have any materials together. That's a huge win. But I absolutely love this build. Now, I did most of this before I had access to Axiom. This was all world edit stuff. And I am just stoked about it. Oh, I just realized there was a few on this side that I meant to get and didn't. And now to sort of explain the lore behind some of this stuff. Damn, I really should have fixed all this. Maybe I should do that right now. I really thought I had it done. Okay, so now the build is done. Obviously, interior is not done. Anyway, interior not done. Obviously, but that's gonna also have to be something I put in another episode because yikes. But there's a lot of things that I left kind of undone, kind of on purpose on the inside whenever I was in the creative world, because I feel like that would be a cool opportunity to, one, I think, flex my building skills whenever I'm in survival. And also, I think that I'm going to get to this point where I have these spaces inside these buildings that I just don't have anything to do with. And I would love to have like a community building opportunity. Maybe I submit the full build to like some sort of world download or something. And then I have people do like the interior of one room or something. And then we can host a bit of a build competition. I think that would be kind of cool, actually. Let me know if you're interested in that in the comments. But yeah, there's a few things that I wanted to touch on before we were totally done. But I am what you would call a traditional Minecraft overhang hater. If you don't know what that sentence means, I don't blame you. It's kind of weird. But usually when Minecrafters build a structure, they're going to build a wall, and then they're going to build a roof. And in order to build that roof, they want the roof to have an overhang, right? And so they're going to add like the 1 block overhang to the side. And I don't know if you could tell, but in most, if not all of my builds, I have avoided that because I don't like the 1 meter overhang that is a full block. And using the copycat steps for this purpose is actually a really nice middle ground. Now, a couple of the buildings that I have planned for the university, they do something entirely different that I actually really like. It's something that's possible in vanilla, but you'll have to wait for those episodes in order to figure out what I'm talking about there. But I really like having these little small overhangs. They're so much more proportional. They're so much more accurate to what real life would be like. And I like it. I like it a lot. And the charm of the build is going to be a lot of the interior stuff that we're going to get the chance to do. But I really liked this pattern of what we came up with, this wall here. I wanted to have lots of these little arch structures and things with these large supporting walls in between them. And I wanted to have tons and tons of natural light. So we actually also put some skylights up here at the top. So even in the very center of the room, you get natural light, which I think is a really good benefit. And this is actually modeled after a university that's here in the city that I live in. This tower's not 1-to-1 or anything like that, but it draws heavily from one of the dormitories at Vanderbilt University. And their campus is like, it's really pretty, guys. It's really pretty. And so this building here will be my dormitory. This is where I'm actually going to have the villagers live and things. And I want to have a lot, or maybe even have the villager breeder in this, but I want to have a lot of the villagers be in here. Like a lot of the librarian trades, I want to have hosted like kind of in this room, kind of just sitting around in these seats. But I think what I can do is I think I can actually stick a lectern below this. And I think they should still be able to interact with that. So I should be able to come in here and like have a few of them dotted around in certain places. Like I don't think I'm going to need to label them. I really just don't have that many book trades. But as villager trading goes on, like I might need more of them. So mostly I just kind of want these guys here to populate the area. Now, I know it's not the full university, so sorry if that's a little bit disappointing, but I just love this build, man. It's so cool. And obviously, this is the start to the makings of another tower that's going to not directly mirror. It's actually quite a bit different, but it carries a lot of the same elements, and we wanted to have a sky bridge that goes between them. And currently, the only way that I have to get up to any of the upper floors in either of the buildings is going to be this elevator shaft right here. But the elevator shaft is something that I'm going to have to install at a later date because I am so very out of time for this video. And once we get completely finished with this build, I will have the build schematic posted over on my Patreon for those that want to use this for something else. I actually laid this out so that there's actually space in between. If you've ever played modded Minecraft before, you'll want space between your floors so that you can run cables and things. But I ran space between all of the floors. It's not the most correct with the windows. Why am I missing? So yeah, this build will be available to Patreons, as will the rest of the university once we get it all finished up. But yeah, I kind of mentioned this at the end of one episode a while back, but I now have the ability to have channel members on the channel. It's not completely set up yet, but if you keep an eye out for them, that's kind of the only way that I can make money off of this at this point. Until I hit 1,000 subs, I just can't make money off of ads, which is kind of a funny rule, but whatever. If I meet your watch hour qualifications, why can't I just make money off the ads? Who needs subscribers? It's me, guys. I need subscribers. Please subscribe. But yeah, as you can see, this place is going to have a lot of room. Specifically in these upper floors, there's tons and tons of room. So Villager Breeder, very, very, very much doable. I also don't have an elevator up to this point right here, which I could definitely just swap this staircase out for an elevator. That would be fairly easy. But I also have more space for more dormitories up a level here. And then at the very top, I figured this could be like the headmaster's office. I don't know. Like the dean of the I don't know, book people. I don't know. But you guys are gonna have to tell me all about how you feel about it in the comments. I appreciate you guys so much for watching and subscribing and all that stuff. The growth over here on this channel has been absolutely insane. And I'm just stoked to be here, guys. I'm just stoked to be here. I have been away from my workshop for far too many days. I did have to run back a couple times to get some things, but I posted up that post box and you know, and I haven't been back since. I think Coco probably misses me. What do you guys think? Surely nothing bad will happen, right? Surely nothing bad will happen and this project will be taken from me and then I'll be stuck somewhere else in some other dimension. Surely that won't be a thing. Yes, I'm sure it'll be totally fine. Certainly nothing sinister going to happen, for sure. But again, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Or will I? What? What's that? I didn't leave it like that. What? The flag is up. There's a package.